This week, 71 British citizens died, and with their deaths, the concept of total war, bloodshed beyond the battlefield, is born. In Russia, a new and unstable government must deal with extreme unrest. And finally, Italy and Austria-Hungary go head-to-head in the midst of the 10th Battle of Isonzo. This week, we open the door to the events of the Great War once again. Welcome to the end of May 1917. Last week, we spoke about the Russian assemblies, also known as the Duma's decision to remain in the war and to remain on the Allies' side, after which citizens moved closer and closer to revolution. One of the other allies, Great Britain, created a new law requiring transport ships to be accompanied by a fleet of Navy ships to protect against German U-boats. Britain wasn't the only country pushed to the edge by German naval attack. In fact, last week, President Woodrow Wilson drafted 500,000 men between the ages of 21 and 30 as a part of the U.S. war efforts, caused in no small part to German U-boat attacks. For the past few weeks, we've also been monitoring the Italians' actions in the 10th Battle of Isonzo against the Austrians. Supported by French and British artillery, the once neutral military forces plan to increase their foothold on the Bainsizza Plateau, while simultaneously heading southwards toward the Armada en route to Trieste, using artillery bombardment on Carso, infantry and aerial attacks. Action on the southern front has been just as abundant this week as the Italians pushed through to the river Tomavo and taken control of the Gulf of Trieste, only 10 miles away from Trieste itself. Italian General Cadorna had planned to push away the Austrians above Isonzo, where their right, as described by Italian papers, quote, pivoted on a lofty mountain system consisting of various lines of high peaks, each of which was a dominating base connected with its neighbor, so that, taken together, they formed a formidable defensive pole, end quote. Britain, however, took credit for Italian success when Chief Director of Military Operations at British War Office, General F.B. Maurice, said that, quote, the Italian offensive was only made possible by the thorough offensive work of the Anglo-French forces during the last few weeks. If we had not been keeping the Germans busy, the Italians would have found an offense impossible, end quote. However, as the week dwindled, so did the Italians. By the end of the week, Austria-Hungary had successfully slowed the Italians. We'll have to wait till next week to find out who will win the 10th Battle of Isonzo, and if it is the last Battle of Isonzo. Meanwhile, on the Western Front, Austria-Hungary's ally, the Germans, have been quite busy this week, with a series of naval and aerial attacks, starting with the bombing of the British Channel port of Folkestone, as previously mentioned. Germany debuted their new Gotha planes, which had spans of almost 24 meters, meaning they could fly much higher than British planes, and a bomb load of 500 kilograms. 21 planes headed to London, planning to drop the bombs there, but due to the cloudy weather decided to stop at Folkestone. The people of Folkestone, unaware of the plane's deadly intent, looked on with wonder at the aerial spectacle. Some even recalled hearing remarks such as, "What a fine spectacle." That is, until the first bomb dropped. This was the first Gotha airplane attack, and with 95 civilian casualties and even more injuries, all the result of the 163 bombs dropped. Many of the same people who had watched the planes approach with innocent curiosity ended up in the hospital that afternoon, including Miss Lily Caroline Bowrick, the wife of a building's foreman, who was admitted to the local hospital with compound fractures, several shrapnel wounds, and a severe bruise on her back. The impact of aerial warcraft was clearly seen later, when anti-aircraft guns were installed in town just a few months later. Never again will the citizens of Folkestone react to the arrival of planes with the glee they did this week. As Folkestone was devastated, civilian airfare or total war on the Western Front began. The Germans weren't the only country to engage in aerial warfare on the Western Front. The French Air Force successfully brought down 10 enemy airplanes and captured 120 prisoners on both sides of Mont Carnelet, all on May 26th. They also captured a German post near Verdun on May 26th. As reported in French papers, it was a violent bombardment in the region followed by 2 attacks, which were repulsed by French fire. However, on land, French forces ran into trouble. Due to an endless string of battles, lack of food, and poor living conditions, almost half of the French soldiers committed mutiny. Specifically, the French defeat in the Nivelle defensive of that April pushed the men to their brink. Now we must wait to see what new Commander-in-Chief Henry Pétain will do to suppress insubordination. This week, chaos has struck on all fronts. However, on the Eastern Front, chaos has remained within Russian borders. Minister of War Guchkov, chairman of the Third Duma and a member of the Cadet Party, was forced to resign. This was a result of street demonstrations led by Russia's civilians and soldiers who have been pushing towards peace, contradicting the actions of their government. These protesters were fed up with the government, and most were starving due to food shortages. The jurisdictive council had asked its allies to accept a peace treaty in order to resolve the lack of enthusiasm among the soldiers. However, the majority urged that the war continue, and that Russia remain faithful to their allies. We'll have to wait and see the response they receive. Also pushing for a closing to the war are socialist ministers, who claim the Russian economy is so acute that it will take a miracle to save the country from a financial breakdown, bringing the war to an end being the only possibility they see. Neither the coalition cabinet nor the newly appointed commission that regulates the difficulties between capital and labor have a way to settle the crisis. There is a wide variety of views among the commission. Therefore, it's likely that they will experience the same difficulties as the previous efforts at reconciliation. And with that, we conclude today's report on the events, both violent and devastating, of the week of May 25th. Thanks for watching The Great War.